Hey guys, as you can see, I only started my eye makeup today, and that's because we're doing another primer battle. You guys seem to have really enjoyed those in the past, so I wanted to bring it back again. And today we are trying a primer from Catrice and Elf. Both of these primers are new and supposed to be very hydrating, and since it is winter right now, I figured this would be a great time to test them. So here is what they look like, and before we dive into trying them on, doing a wear test, giving you my thoughts, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. Welcome. So I approached this in the normal way that I normally would do my makeup. I have my brows on. I started the top of my eyelids. Sounds kind of weird, but you get me. I am filming this video on my birthday, so we're going to be going out to dinner, Luke and I, and I'll be able to really test to see how it wears through the end of the day. So the Elf Moisture Lock Primer is what I'm going to put on the right side of my face. I'm going to zoom you guys in a bit and I'm going to talk about what the claims are as I apply it to the right side of my face, give you my first impressions. So the Elf Moisture Lock Primer runs for $8. I picked mine up at Ulta. I'm a little curious about this type of packaging, but Elf is extremely affordable, so if this makes my makeup last longer and hydrates, which, let me go through the claims. It's supposed to be a moisturizer and primer in one. So let me try to get, it's going to take a couple pumps probably to get this out. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's infused with jojoba oil and shea butter. It does feel like a moisturizer. It's a little bit sticky too, not in a bad way, but I feel like it's really gripping to the side of my face. It's supposed to melt into the skin, which I think it's doing pretty well. It does take a little bit of kind of patting and smoothing. It's supposed to give you a hydrated complexion for long-lasting makeup. I feel like that one pump did a lot. I got the whole side of my face. And I maybe even would be able to stretch that to do my whole face. It does have sort of a clean, fresh scent, and in comparison to the Catrice one that I'm about to try, they are both 1 fluid ounce. So the Catrice one, which is going on next, runs for $7.99, so they're really about the same when you buy them. Same type of fluid ounces. The Elf one is a penny more, but pretty much the same price, so we'll see. With primer, without primer. I don't think for my dry skin it would be enough to be a moisturizer and primer in one, but if you have pretty normal skin, I feel like it might work for you in that regard. Yeah, if I touch both sides of my face, this side is definitely more velvet smooth. So the jojoba and shea butter is supposed to keep that moisture, long-lasting makeup, so we'll give it a shot. It does feel super smooth. The Catrice Prime and Fine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer, moisturizing with bamboo water. There's a lot of text on the front of this. They say that this one's a lightweight formula, so we will see compared to the Elf, which I think was a little bit thicker. Oh, I gotta take off this little guy here. Truly, first impressions. Get that off. But it says that the bamboo water is supposed to, ooh, definitely a different texture. Look at that. It's got a little bit of a blue tone. So the bamboo water is supposed to, oh, it's cooling. Oh my goodness. I'm interrupting myself. It's supposed to hydrate and revive skin to prep it for makeup application. Oh my goodness, this is definitely a different feeling. This is more liquidy, where the other one is more like a thicker moisturizer. This one feels a bit more like if you were putting a serum on your skin. Very, very different textures, but they're both supposed to be hydrating. I'm gonna take a little bit more just so I can get around my nose, just like a pinch more. But I think a little bit goes a long way with this one as well. It doesn't take as much for it to go into the skin. Wow, they feel so different. Guys, this is so cool. I love doing these types of videos. They say you can use this alone as a moisturizing base, kind of playing off that serum feeling I'm getting from it, or you can use it as a refreshing makeup base, and I think they use the word refreshing because it does have that kind of cooling feel to it. There's not really much of a scent, which is nice. I think the Elf has a little bit more of a scent, but they're both very clean and not very intoxicating. It's not going to be a very heavy smell. My skin does feel pretty hydrated. From what I can tell, first impressions, the Elf one did a little more blurring. It's not meant to. It is a hydrating primer moisturizer in one, but I'm liking the feeling of the Elf side a little bit more. because it does have that like velvet touch to it. This side just kind of feels like if I put a serum on my skin, like before I put on a moisturizer. This side does feel a little more sticky, the Catrice side, so maybe we'll see if the makeup stays longer. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply some foundation, which I didn't take out and put in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and probably use my Flower Beauty foundation just because that's been the one I've been using most recently, and we'll see how it is sitting underneath that. Or see how the primer is sitting underneath that. Words. This is the Light Illusion foundation, and I'm in the shade Porcelain. It seems to be blending out okay on top of the e.l.f. side. I think it is gripping it a little bit. Alright, so here is the e.l.f. side with foundation on. It's looking pretty good. It doesn't look like it's really clumping up in any sections in particular. So let's go ahead and put some on the other side and test out Catrice. I feel like I haven't really tried a lot of Catrice, but you guys have mentioned wanting to see more of it. And you can't really beat the prices when it comes to these types of brands. I saw these as new on Ulta when I was thinking of doing another primer battle video, and I was like, that's perfect. Look at me, I'm like falling off the side here. I wish sometimes you guys could like see me do this and be like, Elise, move over. Oh man. This side seems to be blending out a little bit more quickly. I feel like I look more full coverage on the side with the e.l.f. versus the side where I use the Catrice, which is odd. Alright, so here is the Catrice side. It looks a lot more dewy. This looks more hydrated looking because it has that kind of dewy finish to it, where the e.l.f. side looks a little bit more natural. I do feel like I can see my pores still through this side more. And yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup. I will show you how everything looks after I finish my makeup, and then I will be checking in with you guys again at the end of the night to see which side wins the test. So here again, a little more up close. This is the Catrice. And this is the e.l.f. Alright guys, so my mind has totally changed now that I have the rest of my makeup on. I took a closer look at both sides, and I actually have some kind of like clumping on this side where the foundation didn't really want to stick to, and around my chin area here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I've got a lot more issues on the e.l.f. side than I did on the Catrice. I even asked Luke which side he thought looks better, and he liked the Catrice side more. So I think my opinion is starting to change. I do like the blurring effect that I have in this area of my face from the e.l.f. primer. So maybe I will just use that kind of in this area where the Catrice is looking a lot more flawless, or it played nicer with the foundation and the rest of my makeup, where the e.l.f. had a little bit of a problem in the areas where I am dry, which is kind of the point of using these primers, is to have more hydration on the skin. They both feel nice on my skin. I don't feel any tightness after putting the rest of my makeup on, but so far I feel like now my mind is changing and the Catrice side is looking better. I don't know. I feel like parts of the e.l.f. side look better than the other side, but it's not equal. I do think the foundation does still look a little more full coverage on the e.l.f. side, which is maybe why it clumped up in some areas. Maybe I don't need to use as much foundation when I'm using this primer versus when I use the Catrice one. So I will play around with that a little bit more. Maybe having this thicker base, I shouldn't use as much of the foundation on top. So e.l.f. side and Catrice side. So I'm gonna leave you guys for a while. I wanted to share that I'm wearing another Soraya Jade lipstick today. I feel like it went really well with this look. This is the shade Rebound. And if you haven't seen my Glam Squad Made Me Buy It video, I talk a bit more about these and swatch the other colors. So really loving how it feels on the lips. All right, so I will see you guys later tonight. All right, guys, this is gonna be my final check-in. And I'm looking in the mirror at my makeup and I really don't see too much of a difference between the two sides now that I've had it on all day. I'll give you guys a more close-up look as well, but I do see some dryness around my nose, but I saw that pretty instantly on this side, and it's still kind of dry on my chin. I do have dryness here, which I had before. On the Catrice side, it did kind of dry up around my nose. Again, I'll show you a little more close up. But the makeup seems to have stayed on pretty much the same on both sides. You can see that my blush is pretty much the same. My bronzer is pretty much the same on both sides. So I feel like longevity-wise, there's not much of a difference. I don't know, I'm trying to look on, if I'm looking away from you guys, because I'm looking on my screen to kind of see. I can't see when I turn this way. I don't know what it really looks like to you guys, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like both sides look pretty similar. I think for $8, it's not a bad set of primers to try. I don't feel as dry as my skin looks, which is really nice. I don't feel like I have a heavy makeup feel on my face, but I don't feel like I avoided all of my dryness. You do have to exfoliate as well to get rid of some of the dry patches. You guys could probably make a better decision based off of like the footage, but I do want to try the e.l.f. primer with less foundation because I feel like working with less is more. With that primer might be more useful because it did kind of go on a little bit heavier because it would stick a little bit more. This one claimed long-lasting makeup. I do feel like my makeup lasted pretty well considering I was outside today and went out to dinner. It was cold. I do still feel like this Catrice one had a bit more of that serum texture feel to it, but again, at the end of the day, I don't see that crazy much of a difference. But I do really want to emphasize that I don't feel dry, which is awesome. So let me know your thoughts on these primers. Is there one in particular you want to try? Are you curious about both of them? What do you think worked better on my face? Sometimes you guys are the better judges than I am, so I love doing these types of videos. I want to keep doing these little primer battles. Let me know if there's any primers in particular you want me to try next, or just any other type of battles. I know you guys have suggested other ones in the past as well, so these are really fun to film. I feel very up close and personal right now, but thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go finish enjoying the rest of my birthday, and I will see you guys soon. Be sure to remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and I already said see you soon, so see you next time, guys. Bye!